If you really believe in something, it can be yours. That's how we've been conditioned to think. Corruptus. That was the subject of an email I received before my ISP dropped me. My phone turned into a brick the same day. Hell, I think it was the same precise moment. Though it's difficult to know for sure since I only tried it after my laptop couldn't connect. Corruptus. I'd never heard of the word before. And to be honest, I'm not exactly sure it is a word at all. It could be Latin. It sounds like Latin. I haven't been able to look it up, and this is the first time I'm getting on the web since my unexpected removal from the grid. I tried to sign on at the local library, by the way. My card was revoked. Unpaid late fees for books I've never read, much less checked out. Mostly borderline fetish material and self-help books for various mental illnesses. The apparently quite detailed tome of weapons of mass destruction seemed to be of the most concern for the librarian. I hung around the library for maybe half an hour until someone left a computer logged in and unguarded. When I went to check my email to tweet a complaint about what had happened, those accounts were gone as well. Honestly, I was a pretty huge dumbass for expecting them to be there. It wasn't long before I noticed the computer's rightful user pointing me out at the front desk. I guess she wasn't a fan of the direct approach. I was out the door before anyone could cause a real fuss. It's been 2 years since I left Mowgli's palace and never looked back. The original blog post has come and gone so much, across so many different sites, that I can barely even remember the first place I tried to host it. If I'd known how far this would go, I don't know if I would have been able to hack out that clumsy, flawed account of what happened. The pressure would have been too great. I suppose there's a certain level of comfort in the idea no one will ever actually see or care about your work. It seems like a lot of sites remove the information, either upon direct request from Disney or on their own in fear of reprisal. I tried to keep up my After Abandoned blog for a while. I don't know how many people out there saw my notes on Room Zero, Club 22, and so on. They're still around if you look. At least at the time of writing this. Yes, Club 22 exists. No, it's not a typo of Club 33. I later learned from the same contact that there's an 11 as well, and supposedly the debauchery only grows as the numbers get lower. I heard of a Club 00, but I can't confirm that as clearly as I can with the previous contact. I also don't know if it has any connection to the room of a similar name. Yes, the door probably said characters or cast members instead of mascots. I know. I hear you all. Thank you so much for that. I'm sure your memory is crystal clear in moments of abject terror, right? Overall, I'm glad that my words have spread so far and wide. But the downside is that so few of you are taking this seriously. I can't stress this enough. Treasure Island, real. The Utilidors, real. Just because you can't substantiate the rest doesn't mean it's a cool story. Instead of picking apart the inaccuracies and making games about how cool it would be to have been in my position, maybe people can start taking this seriously and digging into what's going on. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want this to be a rant. I want to stay focused and make sure I post exactly what I want to make public. All of the stress, the stalkers, the phone calls, the broken windows. I know that's all supposed to keep me off track. They want me confused, scared. And most of all, they want me quiet. There's a team of men and women in suits that I've seen at random times, here and there. I call them the focus group, because they pop up with clipboards and pens, taking notes about everything I do. They all have the same outfits, the same thick-rimmed nerd glasses, the same red pens that just scream, "We're judging you." The first time I noticed them, they were following me through the mall. I looped and turned, trying to be sure they were following me. And there they were, every step of the way. Days later, I spotted them again in the laundromat window, across from my new apartment. I chased one down, once, the tubbiest one. They stayed silent through the entire chase, and even the scuffle that ensued, when I wrenched the clipboard from his hand. I only found page after page of off-kilter, random gibberish, coupled with crude Mickey silhouettes, all in the same red ink. I know it sounds insane to say that a group of men and women in black are following me and taking nonsense notes. But I think that's the point. I think the idea is that it should drive me insane. And if it doesn't, you'll still think I'm crazy just for saying it. It's a no-win situation. I will forever regret that trip to Emerald Isle. But on the other hand, I'll always be grateful to the people who have come forward, anonymously, to share their experiences with me. Whoever mailed me the suggestion box from the resort is basically my hero at this point. To read what I'd written about the place and still brave the journey. Wow. I can't imagine how that felt, whoever you may be. You even left the original corroded lock in the box, so I'd know it was legit. To do all of that without even taking a look inside for yourself must have been really, really hard. Thank you. If you haven't noticed, I'm treating this post a lot like my final installment. There's a reason for that. I don't know how long I can keep subverting Disney's attempts at silencing me before some sort of final action is taken. I have no doubt that somewhere at this very moment, someone is using my identity to commit a crime that would discredit me. That, or men in white jackets are about to show me a lovely little padded cell. I don't know what's going to come of this. That's the worst part, I suppose. All I know is that it's coming. So what is Corruptus? Well, as I mentioned, it was the title of an email I received. One that was presumably deleted along with my account. It was blank, and seemed to exist for the sole purpose of placing an attached text document in my hands. Too bad for the powers that be. I had already printed it the moment I saw it. Not much they can do to reverse that, can they? I should have mentioned. Remember that library? I used their copier to run off a few thousand duplicates of that letter. A few hundred are stapled in random places. A few hundred were passed out to random people. And the rest. Let's leave those as a little surprise. Have fun trying to stifle that, you mouse fuckers. Without any more rambling, here's the letter. Word for word. It arrived from a source whose email address I won't disclose, though I assume it's an untraceable dummy account anyway. Known Corruptus incidents up to and including January 2015. Treasure Island. Extreme agitation / inappropriate activity within vulture population. Mild to moderate agitation / inappropriate human activity. Resolved Corruptus. Unidentified avian species. Abandoned. Final. Disney's Pop Century Resort. Misplaced immobile objects. Chronological displacement / anachronism. Unresolved Corruptus. Wandering entity. Pending. Disney's River County. Microorganism infestation. Unresolved Corruptus. Clear Man, aka See-Through Man, aka Friendly John. Abandoned. Final. Imageworks. The What If Labs. 2nd floor. Multiple missing persons reports regarding Dreamfinder's School of Drama. Pin screen fatality. Vibrating mirror sickness. Unresolved Corruptus. Willy Wizard installation. Abandoned. Final. Mowgli's Palace. Auditory hallucination and/or projection. Misplaced immobile objects. Moderate to severe agitation / inappropriate human activity. Unresolved Corruptus. Inverted character. Abandoned. Final. The New Global Neighborhood. Resolved Corruptus. Fiber optic worm. NGN-C1. Resolved Corruptus. Digital Howl. NGN-C2. Resolved. Repurposed. Room 0. Sudden onset mass hysteria. Auditory hallucination and/or projection. Unresolved Corruptus. Unknown. Contained. Final. It took a few readings before I could get my head around this. Essentially, if the attached file was to be believed, then the events I had experienced were not part of an isolated incident. The events within Room 0, the Gascots, they seem like part of a much larger problem. What is Corruptus? Corruption. I don't really need Google Translate for that. Corruption of what, though? Dreams? Ideas? Desires? I've never been a religious man, but I was dragged to Sunday school more than enough times to know about golden calves, false gods created by man, icons, graven images, characters, mascots. If you believe in the Bible at all, and I'm not sure I do, especially not after what I've seen, then maybe God wasn't angry because people worshipped other things. Maybe he was afraid. Maybe if enough people believe in something hard enough, there's a chance it will come to be. Since we're naturally flawed beings, that means there's a very good chance such a thing would become corrupted. If you think about it, Disney's animated films have always had one overriding message. Clap your hands and believe hard enough, and Tinker Bell will live. When you wish upon a star, anything your heart desires. People like to say Disney has some connection to Satanism, but I never bought into that. I still don't. I think they've been trying to create that golden calf, a god idol that everyone believes in, one that everyone loves. It's almost as if any dream or idea that is shared by enough human hearts and minds has a real chance of being born into the world. The creatures, if any exist beyond what I saw with my own eyes, I think they're the deformed half-starts, random manifestations of some dark, unquantifiable, non-life that seeped into our state of being. They're mistakes of reality, cosmic abortions, the corrupted. Did everyone in Emerald Isle harbor such a negative impression of Mowgli's palace? How potent was the fear of nuclear war on the day Room Zero became full? If you want to find Gascots and mystery voices, does that search bring about the very thing you're looking for? How many children have been disappointed, confused, or scarred for life when they saw Mickey without his head? These are questions I'm never going to be able to answer. I don't know if anyone can. Speaking personally, this will probably be the last time I talk to you about Disney and everything I've learned about them. I'm truly sorry for that, especially since there's so much more I could say. Unconfirmed rumors, documents, and items I've received that now seem to be gone forever. I thought they were just trying to contain that Mickey costume. I thought that's why they went out of their way to keep the public in the dark about so much. Why they coerced and bullied to get their way. Now I realize I was wrong. It was this. It was always this. All along. They didn't want anything like this getting out. I wish you all good luck, and I know I need the same from you. Thank you.